Shalom Israel. Yahweh Bashim Shah Brakatha. Yahweh Shema Alatha Bashim Shah to all the sisters, man. Listen, it's Captain 13,000 and called up a rhyme, checking in with the Israelite School of UPK under Commander Junior Hunt. Listen, man, this year's 52nd annual Passover. Hold on, I'm gonna say it one more time. This year's 52nd annual Passover under Commander Junior Hunter under the ISUPK. Couldn't do it last year. Y'all already know the Lord had his foot on our oppressor's neck.
Here in New York City, there are roughly 1,000 cases a day. Those are numbers they haven't seen since May.
Can't do it in New York this year because the Lord still got his foot on our oppressor's neck.
New York, the center of the outbreak this spring, is now teetering on another deadly explosion of the virus.
But listen to me good. This year, 52nd annual Passover, April 24th, 2021. You understand? It's gonna be in H-Town, baby.
It's gonna be at the B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do. Huh?
2021, ISUPK, 52nd annual Passover. All the generals gonna be there. All the heavy hitters gonna be there. The daughters of Zion gonna step out with their beautiful long dresses, you understand? Strong on deck. That One West style music on deck. 52nd annual Passover.
B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Get with it to get lost, man.
Got it out the mud, straight up out the base. The world done made me crazy. The world done turned crazy. You dealing with the men at war. We at war. I sided with the Lord, of course. On one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground. We go.
Salakia for the technical difficulties. Look like we got this up and running properly now. Salakia. But shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah to all my brothers, Yahweh Shema Alatah Hashem, Yahweh Shah to all my sisters. This is the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And what we do is we teach the Black, Hispanic, and Native people that they are God's true and only chosen people. And that could be proven through the scriptures and through archaeology and through antiquity. You know what I'm saying? And being that, having that glory upon us, it comes with a set of responsibilities, which is to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Those law, statutes, commandments is a guide of standards and a code of ethics and a sense of morale. You know what I'm saying? That supposed to guide us to loving and taking care of each other. That's what the laws of the Bible are supposed to do. But nowadays, a lot of brothers and sisters forsake that law. They forsake the laws of the Bible. They forsake our code, our guide, and take on the code and the guides and the ethics of other people. And in so doing that, we end up destroying ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We end up being, you know what I'm saying, the bottom of everything, sick and all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into it a bit, but I'm going to open up the class to any questions. If you have any questions, type them in. You know what I'm saying? If you have any questions, type them on in as I put in this sign-in sheet. You know what I'm saying? Bear with me one sec. If you have any questions, type them on in. If you got any questions, type them on in. Don't forget to sign in these sign-in sheets. These sign-in sheets are important. It's how you get your attendance recognized, how you people know that you are actually attending class, especially if you're in the trooper program. Any questions, type them on in. About to add the sign-ins to the YouTube. Alright, the sign-in sheets are on the YouTube and the Facebook. If you're watching through Periscope or any of our other outlets, you can still type in. You know what I'm saying? You can still type in till I figure out how to do clipboard up on here. But understand this much. We as Black, Hispanic, and Native people, we have a law and a code of ethics to live by and to stand for. And as Black, Hispanic, and Native people, we have lost that due to the atrocities and the oppression that our enemies have put us through. We don't know our names. We don't know our culture. We don't know our language. We literally speak in languages of other people. English is a language from English people. You know what I'm saying? Spanish is a language from Spaniards. You know what I'm saying? French is a language from the French people. Portuguese is a language from the Portuguese people. We literally don't speak our own language because we have no language, because it was stripped from us through slavery and through oppression. But not just that, our moral code, our ethics, our love for each other was stripped through us through such oppression also. You know what I'm saying? Through such oppression, we lost a lot more than just our language. We lost our power. We lost each other. And due to acts like integration and civil rights, we also went further into the clutches of our enemies. Our enemies now have a tighter hold on us because we are lusting after what they have. We are lusting after their way of life. We want to be just like them. We want to be rich like them. We want to have everything that they got. We want to run the world like them, but there's only one way you could do that. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're trying to bring to you, that opportunity to run this world with no help or assistance from them. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna since there's no questions, we're gonna start it up. We're gonna start this up. Today's class is about abortions. But I'm also going to extend it, not just abortion, but just killing and murdering each other all together. I'm going to dip into that a bit too. Because our enemy is doing enough killing for us. You know what I'm saying? They are killing enough of us that we should not have any desire to kill our living or our unborn. You know what I'm saying? We should be content with each other. You know what I'm saying? Having children is a beautiful thing. We should not be having abortions, murdering our babies. You know what I'm saying? Murdering ours. because we was taught that we need money to raise them. Money helps, but it's not needed. You know what I'm saying? We were taught this and that. You got to be prepared. You got to have a life. You got to, you know what I'm saying? So many excuses that was given to us to abort our babies. And we should not be doing that. It is not just that it's immoral. It is a sin against the Most High. It is a disgusting act of selfishness. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to get into it. We want to show the beauty of having children first. You know what I'm saying? We're going to show the beauty of that. And we're going to start with, Salakia, bear with me. We're going to start with Genesis 1 and 27 and 28. I'm going to give y'all some time to get there. We're going to start with Genesis chapter 1. And 27 through 28. Give y'all a second to get there. It shouldn't be that hard. It's the first book. Let's get into it. Verse 27. So God created man in his own image. Yes. What does that mean that God created man in his own image? You know what I'm saying? What does that mean? If you read up a little further, it just shows you that he made male and female. So this is something different. It's talking about man. He made man in his image. What does that mean? So before this, he said he made male and female. You know what I'm saying? I think it was verse 14. Let's get into it real quick. Bear with me one sec. It's not 14. It's hold on, where that? Salaki, bear with me. Salaki, bear with me. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Start with Genesis 1 and 20. Actually, let's start with 22. 1 and 22. Genesis 1 and 22, and it reads, you know what I'm saying? And it reads, and God created, that's 21. And God blessed them. See, it's a blessing first off. Understand that it's literally a blessing. God blessed them. Who is them? The them is male and female. He blessed them. It said, be fruitful and multiply. What does that mean to be fruitful and multiply? What does that mean? To be fruitful and to multiply means to get it in and have babies. It's a blessing. That's the blessing that he gave unto them. Is to be fruitful and multiply. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing. Drop down to verse 27. Oh, no. Let's continue that real quick. Let's continue verse 22. Let's finish it off. And fill the waters and the seas and let fowl multiply in the air. So that means the oceans are getting filled up with fish. The birds are filling the air. Everybody has their job to do is to multiply. That's what we do. That's what we do. And it's a blessing to do such. No matter what the Christian church is telling you. Christian church is telling you you're not ready to have a child. Look, of course, a child is a big responsibility. Well, what the church should have taught you was to keep your legs closed. Now that you having that child, you should not be getting rid of it. Christian church should have told you to keep your legs closed, keep your joint in your pants. Don't participate in sex, because sex comes with a heavy responsibility. When you do have sex, that woman is your woman for life, forever. You can't leave her. There's a responsibility with the sex. Now, that other responsibility is when you have sex, there's a great chance you can have a child. Great chance you can have a child, and that's a blessing. That's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? And also the responsibility of having sex. You can end up with diseases if you're having sex with any and everybody, like an uncivilized savage. You can end up with a disease by not being wise about who you're laying with. That's the beauty of knowing that sex is marriage. You got to choose wisely. You're going to recognize that everybody's not worthy of such attention from you. You know what I'm saying? But let's drop down to verse 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. You know what I'm saying? So he created man and female. He created male and female. And look what he tells them. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it. See, the thing is, this is the beautiful thing about it. When you read up on such captivities, like the Egyptian captivity, like the Roman captivity, their fear of black and Hispanic people was they will outnumber them. And due to outnumbering them, they were fearing that we would have the ability to subdue them and subdue this world and run it. That's what they feared. And if you read up on the history of that, which we're going to dip into a bit today, you read up on the history of some of those things, they had their own forms of abortion even back then. They had their forms of killing our babies back then. See, this abortion stuff, this eugenics is nothing new. Eugenics is nothing new. They've been trying to do genocide on us forever. This is nothing new. And through the glory of the Most High, we outlived all that. But let's continue. Let's continue. And have dominion over fish of the sea and the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. See, when you know what I'm saying, having babies, multiplying, that's a blessing. And it helps you gain control over this earth. You have dominion over this earth. You know what I'm saying? You're going to gain land, the heritage, and all that other beautiful stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you just want to be a slave like we are today, an individual like we are today, and guess what's going to happen? We're not going to be able to subdue nothing. You're going to put yourself over the importance of having that child, which is disgusting on all fronts. Disgusting on all fronts. That was Genesis 1 and 27. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into Psalms 127. Let's get into Psalms 127, 3 through 5. I'm gonna let y'all get that real quick. I want to let y'all get that real quick. And I'm going to assume that y'all there right now. Let's get it. Psalms 127, verse 3. Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord. Children are a heritage of the Lord. That is a gift. That is passed down to us. That's why nobody multiplies like us. We all know white Caucasians, our enemies, are having issues multiplying. That's why they're taking all types of drugs, fertilization drugs and reproductive drugs, so forth and so on. That's why they're adopting kids from all other countries and everything, because they're having issues multiplying. But us, black and Hispanic people, we pop them out. That's our heritage. That's a gift from the Most High. That's a blessing. But let's continue. And the fruit of the womb is his reward. What is the fruit of the womb? The fruit of the womb is children. Children are the fruit of the womb. That is what's being produced in the womb. You plant your seed, the fruit comes out. You know what I'm saying? They say there's no science in the scriptures. That's science right there. You know what I'm saying? Verse 4. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Man, I don't think y'all understand what that means. When a mighty man has a handful of arrows, that is like an insurance policy. That is like a safety net. That is like his pride, his you know what I'm saying? A warrior's, a mighty man's pride is in his weapons. And your children, you'll have pride, especially if they're raised up properly and taught well and do as you say. Children are a great thing. As arrows are in the hands of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing to have a lot of kids. Like our forefathers, man, your little grandparents, your grandfather probably had 8, 9 kids. Didn't even have a job. Wasn't a job between the 2 of them, or 3 of them, or 4 of them, depending on how many kids your grandfather had women by. But guess what? They made it through. You see them in those family photos, man. Everybody looks proud. Father in the middle, looking, grandfather in the middle, grandmama in the middle, looking strong. There's pride in having a lot of kids. You know what I'm saying? I mean, do everything with wisdom. Do everything with wisdom, yes. But don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. This world will shame you. Like there was a picture I seen on the internet of a woman who was with her kids, taking a picture with her kids, right? There was like 12 of them. But she was proud of it. But the world wants to shame her for it. You know what I'm saying? They want to shame her for it. Making up a whole bunch of things that's not even involved in the picture. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. But let's get back into it. Let's go to Exodus 1 and 13. You know what I'm saying? I want to give y'all time to get there. Exodus 1 and 13. If you got a question, type them in. But we in Exodus 1 and 13. And it reads, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. So we are in a captivity right here. We are in the Egyptian captivity, and they are making us serve with rigor. What does that mean? What does that mean? Let me tell you what it means. It means that they are forcing us to work. Not just work, but they're forcing us to work strenuously. You know what I'm saying? They're forcing us to work very strenuously. We are literally in slavery. And what they are doing is literally having us, how may I put it? They are literally having us dying, working to death. That's what it means to serve with rigor. You know what I'm saying? And they, verse 14, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage. No different from what's going on today. Our lives are hard through bondage. We ain't benefiting from this. They literally giving us the same thing that we got through slavery, which is food, clothes, and shelter. If you're wise, that's what you'll spend that money on. If you're foolish, you'll spend it on anything but that. You know what I'm saying? So they having us serve with rigor, and they are, you know what I'm saying, hard bondage. We literally working 40, 50, 60 hours a week. All types of travel to get to our jobs. And guess what's happening? We are suffering due to it. You know what I'm saying? We are going through hard bondage. Our lives are hard. We are bitter people. We are a very bitter people. We are angry. That's why we do the things we do. That's why dudes are out there selling drugs, because we're trying to catch up and be like them. We're trying to catch up and be like them, and it's a disgusting thing. Disgusting thing. You know what I'm saying? It's about as disgusting as it gets. Because we would do anything to be like them. That's why in the middle of a pandemic, you have brothers and sisters in a line trying to do something for their self-esteem, buying a bunch of Jordans in a line, forgetting social distancing orders, forgetting their masks, just all up in the line, just so they can get a pair of Jordans. Like, is the Jordans that important? Are they that important? You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of world that they got us in. It's no different from Egypt. That's why they say America is modern day Egypt. Because the children of Israel are in there to this day under bondage and slavery. You know what I'm saying? In mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. We do all manner of work for them. We do all manners of work for them. We literally built this country, literally. Literally built this country. You know what I'm saying? All their service, wherein they made them serve with rigor. Verse 15, and the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife, who knows what the office of a midwife is? Type it in. If you know what the office of a midwife is, type it right on there. What is a midwife's job? Let me tell you, the job of a midwife is literally to give birth. Help the woman give birth, do whatever. They give birth. You know what I'm saying? That's their job. Help the baby be born, right? So the Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, you know what I'm saying? He's like the president of the United States back then. He was the most powerful man on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. He said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women. Now, Puah and Shiphrah was Hebrew women too. They were Israelites. You know what I'm saying? And he's telling them to do something to their own people. He's telling them to do something to their own people. And listen. And see them upon the stools. If it be a son, then ye shall kill him. So when the women give birth, when the baby comes out and it's a boy, you should kill him. Why do they want to kill him? Why? Let me tell you something. The importance of the seed is tremendous. They're trying to get rid of the seed of Israel. He was trying to get rid of the nationality, trying to get rid of the people. That's how you commit genocide. You get rid of the men, that is the beginning of genocide. Literally. Literally. But let's continue. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Because they still need workers. They still need servants. So they want to put our women in servitude even more while they commit whatever carnal acts they want to commit with them. Because they could still produce their kids through them. You know what I'm saying? There'd be an Egyptian seed in a Hebrew womb. You know what I'm saying? So even back then, that was a form of abortion. That was a form of abortion. They wanted to kill the babies as soon as they come out. But even back then, Egyptians had actual forms of abortion to women who didn't even give birth yet. They'll put a stick up there and kind of like, it's grotesque. But you could read that up through histories too. They would give them all types of drugs that like a drug that actually give them like a labor, force them into forced labor. It'd be like a poison. So now they just finding many ways to kill the babies. And they've been doing that way back in Egypt, just like they're doing it now with Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood wants to give out abortions right now, even during a pandemic. They want to kill you even during a pandemic right now, like they ain't killing us enough. Like they just didn't kill a black man for jogging. That's not enough. They got to kill the babies before they're born. Because they want to get rid of us as a people altogether. We built up their country. They don't need us no more. And they would do anything to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? But these sisters, they fear God and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the children, the male children. Those sisters saved the male children. They did not kill the male children off. So shout out to those women who do not have abortions. Shout out to those women who do not condone abortions. You know what I'm saying? Your Christian pastor condones abortions. Your Christian pastors make money off of your abortions. You ever seen a Planned Parenthood flyer or poster up in a church? They got paid to post them in churches. They got paid to post them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easier for them to make money off of your dead babies than to tell you to not have sex. Stay away from sex. You're not ready to have sex. Your Christian pastor is a disgusting creature. You know what I'm saying? He is a disgusting man. You know what I'm saying? Remember, they tell you the law is done away with. The Christian church would tell you the law is done away with. Now remember, why they telling you that the law is done away with? Let me read one of those laws right now. Thou shalt not kill. Murdering born or unborn babies. Taking the lives of unborn babies is killing. It is a murder. Literally murder. Matter of fact, let me help y'all get there. That is Exodus 20 and 13. Go to Exodus 20 and 13. In Exodus 20 and 13, it reads, literally, thou shalt not kill. So why would the Christian church say to a young girl, you should have an abortion, when the Bible literally says thou shalt not kill? You get an abortion, you are literally killing your baby. Literally. So what is the Christian church telling you? The Christian church okays you to kill babies, but the Bible says thou shalt not kill. What sense does that make? Because they make money with you in a mental frenzy. You go through a depression because you killed your baby. Guess what you're doing? You're going back to church. You're spending all your tithe money with them, paying them who knows how much. Sure, it ain't 10%. Probably more than that. You're forsaking your man, focusing on what the pastor needs. You know what I'm saying? You're ruining your relationship. The pastor probably doing some dirty macking because the simple fact is you are depressed. You are stressed. You are downtrodden. You are hurt. But as long as you stay in that condition, guess what? You're still going to come to church. To have that 2 hours of feel good, 2 hours of good song and dance, just to come back to reality that you killed your baby. Come back to the same depression you was in before. They will not heal you. Only people that can heal you from such depression are the men in the ISUPK. We got counselors in here that can help you with that. But your pastor, he don't care to. He just wants your money. You know what I'm saying? But let's go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 53. Give you some time to get there. Put in 1 when you got it. Put in a 1. Put in a 1 when you got it in the Alright, y'all there. Alright, let's read. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 53. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body. What is the fruit of your own body? What is that fruit? The fruit of your own body are your children. We spoke of that before. Just like the fruit of the womb, you will eat it, you will devour it, you will destroy it, you will kill the fruit of your own body. Because you feel like you can't raise that baby. Because you feel like you ain't ready for it. Because you feel like you'd rather do this, you'd rather do that, it's not time. Well, if you felt like that, you should have kept your legs closed. You should have kept your joint in your pants, and you wouldn't have the trauma of killing your own child. Or even that decision weighing on your mind because you wouldn't even be pregnant. You wouldn't even got her pregnant. That situation would not be on your mind because you kept your leg closed and you kept your joint in your pants and you moved wisely. You moved wisely, and now you went out there looking dumb. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. The flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy God hath given thee, in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thy enemies shall distress you. Our enemies will distress you. Why do you think we act the way we do when it comes to pregnancy? Where do you think that guilt factor comes from? That guilt factor comes from our enemies. We don't have what they have, so we're not ready. We're not able to do this and do that for our children, so we're not ready. We ain't able to take our kids on family trips like the Smiths do, like the McDougalls do, like all these other people do. We're not able to do the same thing. Know why? Because the simple fact is, we are slaves. This is not our world. So they distress us. We want to be so much like them. They oppress us even further to be like them. So what we do in the process in chasing that goal, trying to get to that bag, what do? We murder our own children. We murder our own brothers. We murder our own sisters. We kill. We rob. Sell all types of drugs. Do all types of drugs. Whatever it takes to be like them. That's why you're not able to have a baby. Because you're not like them yet. Guess what? Your great-grandmother wasn't like them either. And that woman pushed out 12 kids. With no issue. Broke as can be. Don't know where the next meal coming from. But all of them made it. And that's what they fear. They push this abortion stuff. They push this option. You know what I'm saying? Just because of some fact that they're scared of the takeover. They're scared if we reproduce to a certain point, they will not be able to control us. And we will be able to subdue them and run the world. But with wisdom, you know a little more. You know what I'm saying? If you knew better, you do better. But let's continue. Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you. What does it mean to be a tender man? What type of man is tender? This man has been beaten down. This man has been destroyed. He is hurt. You know, like when your mama used to, you know, give you that business when you did something bad and your backside's a little raw, it's a little hurt. They used to say your backside's a little tender. You're tender, you're beaten, you're destroyed, you're hurt. You don't know how to control your emotions, and you're emotional on top of that. You're tender. You're not tough. You're tender. Now the tender man among you, and very delicate, very sensitive. You know what I'm saying? He ain't thinking right. His eyes shall be evil towards his brother. That's why we out there shooting each other. That's why we out there selling drugs to each other. That's why we out there doing all types of manner of evil. Having sex with our homeboy's woman. You know what I'm saying? All the types of other madness. That's why. Because the simple fact is, we are tender and delicate. You know what I'm saying? A rational man won't do such madness. A rational man don't think like that. A rational man follows the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. And toward the wife of his bosom, his heart is evil towards the woman that he lays with. You know what I'm saying? It's evil towards the women that he lays with. You know why? For multiple reasons. She's stressing him out, so she's feeling all types of way and bitter towards that. He's working at the job 60 hours a week. She's working too. She ain't able to cook because she's tired. She's thinking a little bit selfishly, so she goes to bed. He's thinking selfishly, so he's wondering where's the food at. Now he's starting to hate her. You know what I'm saying? She's too tired to get it in with him and perform the duties of marriage. And now his heart is bitter towards her. That's why he's abusing her. That's why he's committing all types of manner of madness amongst her. You know what I'm saying? That's why he got his woman on OnlyFans, so they could chase that dream of being rich, being like the Smiths and the McDougalls and whatever else and so forth. Chasing that OnlyFans dream with his woman, prostituting her out, because he hates her. He hates his woman. He ain't protecting her like a man should. He ain't taking care of her like a man should. But he puts her out there to be a victim, to be an example. You know what I'm saying? To be a laughingstock to the whole world because he hates her. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. That's why brothers are out there leaving their children, because he's tender and emotional. don't know how to handle the pressures of this hell that we're in. You know what I'm saying? The pressures of this hell that we're in is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? That's why brothers are out there talking about, a woman comes to him talking about, hey, I'm pregnant. Next thing you know, he wants to argue about her, probably beating her up, doing this and that, paying for the abortions, and you got to get rid of it, or so forth and whatnot, because he hates the child. Child ain't even born yet. He wants to beat it out of the woman. If he can't beat it out of her, he gonna want some doctor to shoot it out of her. I mean, pull it out of her. It's disgusting. That's the hell that we're going through right now. And a lot of people don't see it because they don't want it to fall. They want to blame each other than blaming our enemies for the situation that we're in. You know what I'm saying? But let's drop down a couple of verses. No, let's drop down to 56. We don't got to do 55. Let's go to 56. And the tender and delicate woman among you. Now I was talking about the tender and delicate woman. And we know our sisters been through some hell. The black and Hispanic woman been through some hell. They are very tender. They are downtrodden. They are beaten. They are hurt. We see that. We see that every day. We know the hell they go through. You know what I'm saying? Which would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground. Once upon a time, that same broken woman that you see once upon a time, we was in our rulership, when we was doing our thing, we wasn't harassed by all these other nations. Before we were slaves, our women wouldn't even set their feet on the ground. That's how special they were. That's how feminine they were. It ain't like that anymore. It ain't like that anymore. So, wouldn't venture to set the sole of her foot on the ground, forgiveness and tenderness. Her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom. We know there's a war of the sexes amongst black folks. We know that for sure. We know that. We can't even have a civil conversation without black women try to be feminists and dudes being defensive, end up looking misogynistic. We can't even get through that. But let me tell you something. That's not the way it's supposed to be. She hurt, we hurt. There's something that got to be worked out. But she got a hatred towards the husband of her bosom. That's why she'd rather listen to the pastor, rather listen to her daddy, rather listen to her mommy, rather listen to everybody else than the person she opens her legs to. You ain't nothing to her. You are nothing at all to her. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. And toward her son and toward her daughter. It's a certain special type of evil. If you want to, let's talk about it. If you want to neglect your kids, abort your kids, that is a special type of evil, because the simple fact is, children are a blessing from the Most High. The Bible said it. I read it twice. So, her being evil towards the remnant of her children, her son and her daughter, is because of what she's been through. It's because of the hell that our oppressors put us through. You know what I'm saying? That's why abortion is even an option. It's because of that oppression. It's because of that hell. Abortion wouldn't be an option if we wasn't going through the oppression. If we wasn't going through this hell, why would abortion be an option? You know what I'm saying? If we were in our own rulership, it wouldn't be an option. We wouldn't be stressed about having kids. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Let's continue to 27. And toward the young one that cometh out from between her legs, even to the one that ain't even born yet, there's a certain amount of evil and hatred that she has towards that one. You know what I'm saying? That's why the option to abort, the option to abandon, the option to whatever. There's plenty of options out there that this world promotes that is against the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And toward the children she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly, in siege and in straitness. I mean, that's what it's all about. They want to they have these abortions, so, and they destroy their children, they sell their children for their own lusts and desires. I mean, I know y'all heard stories about women selling their babies for crack and all this and all that. I actually know a couple of examples. And then you got these women being sexually abused at a young age because their mother sold them for crack. Now they end up doing the same thing. It starts to become a cycle. And it's all due to the oppression. We ain't bring crack in here. I don't blame the crackhead for being a crackhead, because we ain't put crack in the community. You know what I'm saying? But let's get skip Matthew 5 and 21. Skip Matthew 5 and 21. Give y'all a second to get there. All right, Matthew chapter 5, verse 21. Ye have heard that it is said by them of old time. So this is what the old heads used to say. This is what it was saying back in the day. This is what we used to say. You know what I'm saying? This is an old saying. Thou shalt not kill. You know why it's an old saying? Because it's a law that we live by. It is a law that we live by. Thou shalt not kill. It's a beautiful law. But this world okays it when it benefits this nation. When it benefits our oppressor, it's okay to do it then. You know what I'm saying? And whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. What is the danger of the judgment? What's the judgment? See, it's one thing to be killed by man, but to have the Most High against you, to be in the judgment is to be in the crosshairs of the Most High. He has something coming for you. So when you murdering, especially the babies, he's going to have to deal with you accordingly. See, people like to say, God don't hate. God loves you no matter what you do. That's what makes you feel comfortable with sinning. That's literally what makes you feel comfortable doing the sins that you do. Because the Christian church always promoting it in some manner or form in sickness. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Thou shalt, whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. You don't want to be in that danger. You don't want to be in those crosshairs. You know what I'm saying? You don't want the Most High against you to that degree. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. Slakia. Let's go to, let's drop that. Let's go to Isaiah 49 and 15. Give y'all some time to get there. Isaiah 49 and 15. Hopping back into the Old Testament real quick, the roots. Isaiah chapter 49, verse 15. Can a woman forget her sucking child? Can a woman forget her sucking child? Can she? Look back in your life. See, understand the hell you went through. Just look back on it. You know what I'm saying? That she should not have compassion on the son of her womb. Can she forget? Like, she gave that child suck. You know what I'm saying? And she won't have compassion on it. It's a scary ordeal. Yea, they may forget, yet will I not forget thee. Just remember, the hell that you're going through, whatever you went through with your parents, that's of the Most High to handle. You still got a thing to do. You still got to honor your parents, no matter what hell you went through. The Lord won't forget whatever hell they put you through. You still got to honor them. You know what I'm saying? You got to uphold your end. They got you to where you're at, wherever it may be. They got you there. Whatever hell and trauma you went through, guess what? That's for the Lord to take care of. You know what I'm saying? So even though they may have forgotten you, they may have neglected you, mistreated you, but the Lord will repay that. The Lord will handle that. The Lord won't forget thee. But let's drop that. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. Um, 12 and 5. Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 5. Let me know when y'all there. Still got ways to go. All right, beautiful. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 5. And also those merciless murderers of children. Who are the merciless murderers of children? Have no mercy in the way they just murdering the babies. There's no mercy. You know why? Because they're thinking of their own lust. They're thinking how they could benefit. They're thinking what benefits them. That's all they're thinking about. You know what I'm saying? The merciless murderers of children. This message is for them. Salaki. And devourers of man's flesh and feasts of blood. What is it talking about? Merciless murderers of children. Salaki, bear with me one sec. Gotta correct something. Who is it talking about? Who are those merciless murderers of children? Those are our oppressors and the women that do what those oppressors say and the men that condone it. Those are the merciless murderers of children. And the Most High calls that a witchcraft. If you read the verse above it, it's a, oh, I ain't even gonna say that word. I don't know how to say it, but it is a very vile and disgusting act. And guess what? Guess what? You're going to have to take part of that judgment. You're going to have to feel that judgment of the Most High for committing such act. And the judgment of all sin, remember, thou shalt not kill, is death. You know what I'm saying? That's the judgment of all sin. You know what I'm saying? But let's go to yeah, let's get there. Matthew 23 and 30. Matthew chapter 23, verse 30, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, if we had been in the days when our laws governed us, you know what I'm saying, when we were taking care of each other, living our heritage and culture, we were doing what we do without the influence of our oppressors and our enemies. You know what I'm saying? If we were in the days of our fathers, our forefathers, so forth and so on, let's continue. We would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. We would not be partakers of them with the blood of the prophets. Y'all probably asking yourself, what that got to do with abortion? I haven't killed no prophet. How do you know that, though? If you committed an abortion, how do you know that you have not killed a prophet? Oh, you don't understand this? You just killed the unborn baby. How do I know if it's a prophet? Let me explain something. Let's go to Jeremiah 1 and 5. Go to Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. I'll give y'all another second to get there. It's another Old Testament gem. But Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly. Now listen, the Most High is telling them. Before he formed them in the belly, before he became a zygote, before he formed them in the belly, what is the step before that? Sperm. So when you were sperm, let's continue. I knew thee. So when you were sperm, the Most High knew who you were. The Most High knew who you were when you were sperm, before you was formed in the belly, before that sperm cracked that egg, the Most High knew who you was. You know what I'm saying? Now let's continue. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, let's take it a little more easier. Let's go a little after that. Even before he took you out of the womb, before you came out of your mother, the Most High knew you. The Most High knew everything about you. You know, against contrary beliefs. The Most High knew exactly who you were. You know what I'm saying? I sanctified thee. What does it mean to sanctify somebody? It means to cleanse them and make them special. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the definition of sanctified. I think I got my... So I thought I had my Bible dictionary there. Well, let's go to the Merriam-Webster dictionary then. To sanctify means to set apart to a sacred purpose or to religious use. Consecrate. To free from sin. Purify. You know what I'm saying? Those are the two definitions. Let me see if there's more. Yeah, there's a total of 4 definitions. Let's go a little further. Let's read 3A. To impart or impute sacredness, inviolability, or respect to. To give moral and social sanctions to. What's a moral and social sanction? Those are those law, statutes, and commandments. To make productive of holiness or piety. With the word holy just means separate. Sanctified means separate. To make holy, how do you make somebody holy and separate? By following these law, statutes, commandments, and not doing what these heathens do. So those definitions are pretty exact and right on. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. I sanctified thee. I separated thee. I gave you law, statutes, and commandments. I purified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So, guess what? The Most High knows who isn't a prophet. The Most High knows that. Not the woman that's giving birth to him, not the father that's giving birth to him. You know what I'm saying? Only person that knows that is the Most High. And he knew that in the womb. So when you're giving an abortion, you don't know if you murdered a prophet. You don't know that at all. You don't know if you spilled the blood of a prophet. A lot of people have. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have. So let's go back to that verse that we read before this one. Matthew 23 and 30. And say, if we have been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Let me put that in layman terms. If we was in our own rulership, following our own customs, there would be no abortions. Period. Because it's against our laws, it's against our culture. And who are those partakers in that blood of the prophets today? Who are those partakers? Our oppressors, our enemies. So-called American people. So-called Venezuelan people. The so-called Jamaican. The so-called Mexican. The so-called Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? Those are the partakers in it. The people that is ruling over us. You know what I'm saying? Those are the partakers of the blood, and you are joining into with them. Like it said in Revelations, you know what I'm saying? Separate and be not partakers of her sins. Don't partake in the blood of the prophets, man. Because partaking in the blood of the prophets is going to have you sick with COVID-19. It's going to have you suffering the fact that the giant hornets are going to kill all the bees. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to deal with all that too. You're going to have to deal with the same pain that they dealing with. Why you think we're number one in all these health issues? Why you think we're number one in dying from COVID-19? Because those laws were given to us. And when we break them, we die from them. It's just that simple. When we break them, we die from them. Nothing else. Nothing else. You know what I'm saying? But let's go, let's drop down to Isaiah 44 and 2.
Yo, stop trying to shoot my camera. Bruh.
Isaiah chapter 44 verse 2, and it reads, Thus saith the Lord that made thee and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob my servant. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is telling you he made you. Like we all grew up with the saying, with our angry, bitter parents, who we have provoked to use the rod on us, to beat us, to discipline us. We have provoked them, and a common saying that they would say is, I brought you into this world, I'll take you out. We all heard that. All of us heard that. But it's true on a carnal level. But on a spiritual level, it's not. Only person that can take us out of here is the Most High. Only person that brought us in here is the Most High. Now let's get into it. It says, "Thus saith the Lord that made thee and formed thee in the womb." Like, if you think about it on a scientific level, you are an egg. I mean, you are a sperm. There are thousands to millions of sperm. You know what I'm saying? But you are the one that won that race to that egg. Well, you think because you were better than the other sperm? What made you get to that egg first? Let me tell you something. That's of the Most High. Think you wiggled a little harder and faster? No, that's purely of the Most High that you got to that egg. So the Most High formed you in that egg. That's how you became a zygote. You got to that egg, you cracked it. That's all through the mercy and glory of the Most High. But let's go down to 24. Let's go down to 24. Let's get a little more clarity. Go down to verse 24. "Thus saith the Lord, thy Redeemer, and he that formed thee from the womb." Just a little more clarity. The Most High formed us in the womb. So when you thinking about getting an abortion and you get my child and it's my body and it's, you know what I'm saying, my choice, understand it. It's not. Your body belongs to the Most High. That child that's in your womb, that the Most High allowed form in your womb, belongs to the Most High. I mean, think about it. How many times have you had sex and did not get pregnant? But this time you got sex and you got pregnant and you want to get rid of that child. You want to destroy that child due to your own lust. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you something. That's not how it goes. The Most High, that's the Most High's property. And you destroying the Most High's property is going to have the Most High's anger pointed towards you. You know what I'm saying? But let me continue. "I am the Lord that maketh all things." The Lord makes all things. He made us. He made all things. He made that COVID-19. He made them AIDS. He made those giant hornets that's coming into America. He made all that. Give the Most High credit for everything. He creates good and evil. But let's continue. "That stretched forth the heavens alone, that spreadeth abroad the earth by myself." He created all things. So that baby that's in your belly, while you looking at it like it's a curse, the Most High created it. The Most High created that baby. While you looking at it like it's a curse, the Most High created it. You know what I'm saying? The Most High created the baby. Well, let's continue. Actually, let's drop that. Let's go back to Isaiah. Let's go back to Isaiah. But this time we're going to chapter 49, verse 5, I believe. Go to Isaiah 49 and 5. Get a little further on understanding on whose child it really is on the spiritual level. Isaiah chapter 49, verse 5. "And now saith the Lord that formed me from the womb to be his servant." The Most High just didn't make us. He made us with a purpose. And you're not just taking away a life, you're taking away a purpose. You know what I'm saying? The Most High had a plan for every species that's on this earth. That means you're going directly against the Most High's will, just so you can be able to get into a certain condo where all the rich white people live. So you can get your degrees that you probably will not even get the same job that you wanted, that you thought you'd be able to get. You know how many women I know went to college for who knows how long and didn't even get a job that degree is supposed to help them obtain? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's women out there who went to law school and are security guards right now. Straight up and down security guards. But you want to chase their dream. You're willing to get rid of your baby to chase their dreams, and they will make sure you will get rid of that baby, and you will not obtain that dream. That is their whole plan. That's the way they think. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. To bring Jacob again to him. So all these kids, all these Israelites being born, our job is to bring Israel back to him. You know what I'm saying? If he deems us to be a prophet, if that's our job, that is what we're going to do. But if you taking that life away, guess what's going to happen? It's going to be harder for us to get back to the Most High. It's going to be harder for us to get out of this captivity and this hell that we're in. Because the simple fact is, you want to take away those prophets. You are deciding to slaughter those prophets. I know you're confused. There's a deeper tunnel to go down. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna go down there. I'm gonna keep it real milky for you. You know what I'm saying? But everybody has a purpose, and you don't know what purpose you are taking out of this earth when you abort a child. You don't know what type of soldier you are taking out when you abort a child. It's just that simple. But let's finish this off. So Israel be not gathered, because we're not gathered right now. Israel scattered throughout the four corners of this earth, calling ourselves all types of horrible things like, I'm black, I'm African American, I'm Jamaican, I'm Haitian, I'm Negro, I'm this, I'm that. You're everything but an Israelite. You're everything but your tribe. You are anything that our enemies say you are. Our enemies say it, that's what you'll be. And you'll be it with pride. You'll be it with all types of pride and admiration in your heart. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord, and my power shall be my strength. It's a beautiful thing when we get back together, but that's another point. You know what I'm saying? The Most High formed us. We are his property. So you are literally stealing from the Lord when you murder one of his babies. That he could be deeming that baby to take us out of this hell that we're in. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to 2nd Maccabees. Let's go to the Apocrypha. Yes, if you do not know, the Apocrypha is actually a part of the Bible. The Roman Catholic Church in 1611 stripped those books out of the Bible because they believed it wasn't canonized, or whatever that means. But let me explain something to you. The Apocrypha links the Old Testament and the New Testament perfectly. The Apocrypha talks about a captivity that's well known to the world, but for some reason is skipped over in the Bible. The Greeks is a well-known empire, but for some reason they are not spoken of You know what I'm saying? They are not spoken of because the simple fact is they want to control us with the remainder of it. They want to cause division by saying there's a difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament, when the truth is it's all really one book. It's all really one book. It all is. Literally the same book. And the Apocrypha transitions it from one to the other seamlessly. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into it. 2 Maccabees, chapter 7, verse 22. Give y'all a second to get there. Second Maccabees, chapter 7, verse 22. Now, this is something that most parents should have the wisdom to understand. Because this thought does come to mind when the child's in distress. This thing does come to mind when their child's in pain. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into it. I cannot tell how ye came into my womb. They know about the action, but they don't know because you can get it in with your spouse when and however. You know what I'm saying? But that does not always dictate a child. They know that. That does not always dictate a child, so they don't know how that child was able to be formed in the womb. They know it's of the Most High more than them know. But watch. For I neither gave you breath nor life. That is just wisdom from the parent. Like our parents told us, they brought us into the world, they'll take us out. But our parents wasn't raised righteously. Our parents was raised in this hell that we're in today. And let me tell you something. This parent knew something. He knew that that child was on a physical plane his. But there's a more important plane, and that child was not his. There's a spiritual plane. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I can't aim straight.
Neither was it that I that formed the members of every one of you.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
I literally can't shoot.
Let me tell you about this story. I think I read this story not too long ago. Actually, on Monday. I read this story on Monday. But let me tell you something. This woman was giving her last son some courage. You know what I'm saying? To follow the laws of the Most High instead of following the customs of our oppressor. And what she did was tell him this. You know what I'm saying? Told him that, you know what I'm saying, these wonderful words of courage. Let him know that, how may I put it? That even though you about to lose this body, you know what I'm saying? You're about to lose this body, but there's something more important involved here. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let's get into it a little further. Let's get into verse 23. But doubtless the creator of the world, who formed the generations of man and formed out the beginning of all things, will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again. Look, she told him that because of the simple fact that she wanted to give him courage. She understood as a mother that child was the Lord's child. And the Lord gave him life. So don't fear about losing this one, because the Lord can give you life again. But don't get me wrong, I don't give you any right to murder your child. You don't do the murder. That mother didn't murder her child. Those oppressors did, because they did not eat pork. Y'all would dive into some pork chop, shrimp, and lobster right now. But these, our ancestors, died because they wanted to follow the laws of God and did not eat pork. righteous. And she told that to her son so he could stand tall and die like the rest of his brothers, upholding the laws of God. And you won't even give your children that chance. You won't even give your child that chance. You want to murder that child before he even comes out with a whole bunch of excuses. Then you want to bring out points that's not even factors to your condition. You want to bring out points of what if a woman gets raped? And how many women actually get raped and bear a child? Then on top of that, how many women actually, you know what I'm saying, abort the child? Even less. I mean, that is not even a full percentage of the amount of abortion cases there are. Not even a full percentage. But a lot of you women will come up with any excuses to condone your abortions. Any excuse. You know what I'm saying? But Salakia. Let's go to Isaiah 1 and 5. Yep, we're back in Isaiah. It's a dope book. Y'all should read it. Son told me I read this, though. I don't know. I'll just read it again. My son told me I read it. My fault, 1 and 15. Isaiah 1 and 15, because I did read 1 and 5. No, I read Jeremiah 1 and 5. Isaiah 1 and 5. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 15. And when ye spread forth your hands, I will hide mine from you. Yea, when ye make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. A lot of these women expecting all types of mercy. A lot of these men expecting all types of mercy. Expecting all types of favors and blessings from our power. While they're committing all types of murder and horrendous, odious acts. Killing their own baby, killing their brothers, killing their sisters, you know what I'm saying? Doing all types of mothers, killing mothers and fathers. I'm hearing stories about black people doing that now. I'm hearing stories about black and Hispanic people killing their parents. That's me growing up, I thought that was something only our oppressors did. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into it. He said, I will not hear your hands are full of blood, because our egos are so high, and you up in that Christian church that, remember, that Christian church condoned you, advised you to have an abortion, promoted it. You know what I'm saying? Promoted you to have that abortion. And look what the Lord's saying. The Lord's saying he will not hear your prayers. Your hands are full of blood. You're not clean enough. You're dirty to the Most High. You're filthy. He will not hear your prayers. And let me tell you this. A woman that had an abortion, she is traumatized. She is going to that Christian church. She is praying, hoping that the Most High hears her. The Most High won't hear her, because she has to become a new person herself now. Now she has to be born again. Hopefully. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully. You know what I'm saying? Her hands are full of blood. Your hands are full of blood too. You paid for the abortion. You destroyed her to the point that she don't even understand why she should have the child. You end up putting her down. You end up fighting her and telling her that the baby ain't yours, calling all types of whores and stuff, knowing the acts that you did. You know what I'm saying? So your hands are bloody too. Your hands are bloody too. I ain't putting this all on sisters. There's brothers that promote abortions and all that too.
Oh my God.
And it's disgusting.
I would have killed him. I would have just killed him.
But let's finish it off. Let's finish it off with Lamentations.
My bad, my aim's too good.
Let's go to Lamentations 4. Oh, let me skip that. Lamentations 4 and I believe 3. Give y'all a second to get there. Lamentations chapter 4 verse 3. Draw out the breast. Even those little sea monsters, you know what I'm saying? They give suck to their kid. They take care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? They do all that. Even the sea monster does. They give suck to their young ones. You know what I'm saying? Whales do. You know what I'm saying? What other mammal-like beasts are in the water? Leviathans and all that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever sea monster you could think of, they take care of their children. You know what I'm saying? They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel. The black, Hispanic, and Native people, they have become cruel. The black, Hispanic, and Native women have become cruel and heartless. They are tender. They are delicate. You know what I'm saying? They have become cruel. Like the ostriches in the wilderness, just like the ostrich. I don't know if you observed an ostrich, but an ostrich does not take care of their children very well. An ostrich does not do it very well. You know what I'm saying? Their tongue of the sucking child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. Like the baby is dying out here. The baby is in need of nurturing. Needs to be taken care of. But check it. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them. But nobody's taking care of these children. The mothers ain't taking care of them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is taking care of the babies. The women are ignoring them, selling them, doing all types of manner of horrendous acts, murdering them before they're even born. We are destroying our children. I know y'all seen the videos of these women stripping with their children on the stripper pole. What's the purpose behind that? What's the purpose? Twerking with them, promoting all manners of evil with their children right now. Promoting all manners of evil. But let's get back into it. Oh no, that's it. Oh, damn. Well, let me get into these announcements then, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to end the class for now. We're going to get into these security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, a teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment. You can find that in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi chapter 3 verse 8 through 10. Ma'ashur, which means a tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest funds, which is a free will offering for priests, as it's not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to be a trooper in the school, get in all black. Black shirt, black pants. You know what I'm saying? Black headpiece. you know, black boots, and put in your attendance, get into the head, get with the head of your area, and with that, shalom.